Hello and welcome to day 26 of our journey to read the Bible every day for 1 year in chronological order. Today we are going to read Genesis 41 to 42. Genesis 41, Pharaoh's dreams. And it came to pass at the end of 2 full years that Pharaoh dreamed, and behold, he stood by the river. And behold, there came up out of the river 7 well-favored kine, and fat-fleshed, and they fed in a meadow. And behold, 7 other kine came up after them out of the river, ill-favored and lean-fleshed, and stood by the other kine upon the brink of the river. And the ill-favored and lean-fleshed kine did eat up the 7 well-favored and fat kine. So Pharaoh awoke, and he slept and dreamed the second time. And behold, 7 ears of corn came up upon one stalk, rank and good. And behold, 7 thin ears, and blasted with the east wind, sprung up after them. And the 7 thin ears devoured the 7 rank and full ears. And Pharaoh awoke, and behold, it was a dream. And it came to pass in the morning that his spirit was troubled, and he sent and called for all the magicians of Egypt, and all the wise men thereof. And Pharaoh told them his dream, but there was none that could interpret it them unto Pharaoh. Joseph interprets Pharaoh's dreams. Then spake the chief butler unto Pharaoh, saying, I do remember my faults this day. Pharaoh was wroth with his servants, and put me in ward in the captain of the guard's house, both me and the chief baker. And we dreamt a dream in one night, I and he. We dreamt each man according to the interpretation of his dream. And there was there with us a young man, an Hebrew, a servant to the captain of the guard. And we told him, and he interpreted to us our dreams. To each man according to his dream he did interpret. And it came to pass, as he interpreted to us, so it was. Me he restored unto mine office, and him he hanged. Then Pharaoh sent and called Joseph, and they brought him hastily out of the dungeon. And he shaved himself, and changed his raiment, and came in unto Pharaoh. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, I have dreamt a dream, and there is none that can interpret it. And I have heard say of thee, that thou canst understand a dream to interpret it. And Joseph answered Pharaoh, saying, It is not in me. God shall give Pharaoh an answer of peace. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, In my dream, behold, I stood upon the bank of the river, and behold, there came up out of the river 7 kine, fat-fleshed and well-favored, and they fed in a meadow. And behold, 7 other kine came up after them, poor and very ill-favored, and lean-fleshed, such as I never saw in all the land of Egypt for badness. And the lean and the ill-favored kine did eat up the first 7 fat kine, and when they had eaten them up, it could not be known that they had eaten them, but they were still ill-favored at the beginning. So I awoke, and I saw in my dream, and behold, 7 ears came up in one stalk, full and good. And behold, 7 ears withered, thin, and blasted with the east wind, sprung up after them. And the thin ears devoured the 7 good ears, And I told this unto the magicians, but there was none that could declare it to me. And Joseph said unto Pharaoh, The dream of Pharaoh is one. God hath shewed Pharaoh what he is about to do. The 7 good kine are 7 years, and the 7 good years are 7 years. The dream is one. And the 7 thin and ill-favored kine that came up after them are 7 years. And the 7 empty years, blessed with the east wind, shall be 7 years of famine. This is the thing which I have spoken unto Pharaoh. What God is about to do, he sheweth unto Pharaoh. Behold, there come 7 years of great plenty throughout all the land of Egypt. And there shall arise after them 7 years of famine. And all the plenty shall be forgotten in the land of Egypt, and the famine shall consume the land. And the plenty shall not be known in the land by reason of that famine. Following, for it shall be very grievous. And for that the dream was doubled unto Pharaoh twice. It is because the thing is established by God, and God will shortly bring it to pass. Joseph gives Pharaoh counsel. Now therefore let Pharaoh look out a man discreet and wise, and set him over the land of Egypt. Let Pharaoh do this, and let him appoint officers over the land, and take up the 5th part of the land of Egypt in the 7 plenteous years. And let them gather all the food of those good years that come, and lay up corn under the hand of Pharaoh, and let them keep food in the cities. And that food shall be for store to the land against the 7 years of famine, which shall be in the land of Egypt, that the land perish not through the famine. And the thing was good in the eyes of Pharaoh, and in the eyes of all his servants. And Pharaoh said unto his servant, Can we find such a one as this is a man in whom the Spirit of God is? And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, Forasmuch as God hath shewed thee all this, there is none so discreet and wise as thou art. Thou shalt be over my house, and according unto thy word shall all my people be ruled. Only in the throne will I be greater than thou. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, See, I have set thee over all the land of Egypt. And Pharaoh took off his ring from his hand, and put it upon Joseph's hand, and arrayed him in vestures of fine linen, and put a gold chain about his neck. And he made him to ride in the 2nd chariot which he had, and they cried before him, Bow the knee. And he made him ruler over all the land of Egypt. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, I am Pharaoh, and without thee shall no man lift up his hand or foot in all the land of Egypt. And Pharaoh called Joseph's name Saphnath Paneah, and he gave him to wife Asenath, the daughter of Potipherah, priest of On. And Joseph went out over all the land of Egypt. And Joseph was 30 years old when he stood before Pharaoh, king of Egypt. And Joseph went out of the presence of Pharaoh, and went through out all the land of Egypt. And in the 7 plenteous years the earth brought forth by handfuls. And he gathered up all the food on the 7th of the 7 years which were in the land of Egypt, and laid up their food in the cities, the food of the field, which was round about every city, laid he up in the same. And Joseph gathered corn as the sand of the sea, very much until he left numbering, for it was without number. And unto Joseph were born 2 sons before the years of famine came, which Asenath, the daughter of Potipharah, priest of On, bare unto him. And Joseph called the name of the firstborn Manasseh. For God said, He hath made me forget all my toil and all my father's house. And the name of the second called he Ephraim, for God hath caused me to be fruitful in the land of my affliction. And the 7 years of plenteousness that was in the land of Egypt were ended, and the 7 years of dearth began to come, according as Joseph had said, and the dearth was in all lands, but in all the land of Egypt there was bread. And when all the land of Egypt was famished, the people cried to Pharaoh for bread. And Pharaoh said unto all the Egyptians, Go unto Joseph, what he saith to you do. And the famine was over all the face of the earth, and Joseph opened all the storehouses and sold unto the Egyptians, and the famine waxed sore in the land of Egypt. And all countries came into Egypt to Joseph for to buy corn, because that the famine was so sore in all lands. Genesis 42. Jacob sends his 10 sons to buy corn in Egypt. Now when Jacob saw that there was corn in Egypt, Jacob said unto his sons, Why do ye look one upon another? And he said, Behold, I have heard that there is corn in Egypt. Get you down thither, and buy for us from thence, that we may live and not die. And Joseph's 10 brethren went down to buy corn in Egypt. But Benjamin, Joseph's brother, Jacob sent not with his brethren, for he said, Lest peradventure mischief befall him. And the sons of Israel came to buy corn among those that came, for the famine was in the land of Canaan. And Joseph was the governor over the land, and it was that sold to all the people of the land. And Joseph's brethren came and bowed down themselves before him, with their faces to the earth. And Joseph saw his brethren, and he knew them, but made himself strange unto them, and spake roughly unto them. And he said unto them, Whence come ye? And they said, From the land of Canaan, to buy food. And Joseph knew his brethren, but they knew not him. And Joseph remembered the dreams which he dreamed of them, and said unto them, Ye are spies, to see the nakedness of the land ye are come. And they said unto him, Nay, my lord, but to buy food are thy servants come. We are all one man's sons, we are true men, thy servants are no spies. And he said unto them, Nay, but to see the nakedness of the land ye are come. And they said, Thy servants are 12 brethren, the sons of one man, in the land of Canaan. And behold, the youngest is this day with our father, and one is not. And Joseph said unto them, That is it that I spake unto you, saying, Ye are spies. Hereby ye shall be proved. By the life of Pharaoh ye shall not go forth hence, except your youngest brother come hither. Send one of you, and let him fetch your brother, and ye shall be kept us prison, that your words may be proved, whether there be any truth in you, or else by the life of Pharaoh surely ye are spies. And he put them all together into ward 3 days. And Joseph said unto them the 3rd day, This do and live, for I fear God. If ye be true men, let one of your brethren be bound in the house of your prison. Go ye, carry corn for the famine of your houses. But bring your youngest brother unto me, so shall your words be verified, and ye shall not die. And they did so. The sons have remorse for Joseph, and they said one to another, We are very guilty concerning our brother, in that we saw the anguish of his soul when he besought us, and we would not hear. Therefore is this distress come upon us. And Reuben answered them, saying, Spake I not unto you, saying, Do not sin against the child, and ye would not hear? Therefore, behold, also his blood is required. And they knew not that Joseph understood them, for he spake unto them by an interpreter. And he turned himself about from them and wept, and returned to them again, and communed with them, and took from them Simeon, and bound him before their eyes. Then Joseph commanded to fill their sacks with corn, and to restore every man's money into his sack, and to give them provision for the way. And thus did he unto them. And they landed their asses with the corn, and departed thence. And as one of them opened his sack to give his ass provender in the inn, he espied his money, for behold, it was in his sack's mouth. And he said unto his brethren, My money is restored, and lo, it is even in my sack. And their heart failed them, and they were afraid, saying one to another, What is this that God hath done unto us? And they came unto Jacob their father unto the land of Canaan, and told him all that befell unto them, saying, The man who is the Lord of the land spake roughly to us, and took us for spies of the country. And we said unto him, We are true men, we are no spies. We be 12 brethren, sons of our father. One is not, and the youngest is this day with our father in the land of Canaan. And the man, the Lord of the country, said unto us, Hereby shall I know that ye are true men. Leave one of your brethren here with me, and take food for the famine of your households, and be gone. And bring your youngest brother unto me, then shall I know that ye are no spies, but that ye are true men. So will I deliver you your brother, and ye shall traffic in the land. And it came to pass, as they emptied their sacks, that behold, every man's bundle of money was in his sack. And when both they and their father saw the bundle of money, they were afraid. And Jacob their father said unto them, Me have ye bereaved of my children? Joseph is not, and Simeon is not, and ye will take Benjamin away. And all these things are against me. And Reuben spake unto his father, saying, slay my 2 sons. If I bring him not to thee, deliver him into my hand, and I will bring him to thee again. And he said, My son shall not go down with you, for his brother is dead, and he is left alone. If mischief befall him by the way in the which ye go, them shall ye bring down my grey hairs with sorrow of to the grave. So this was Genesis 41 to 42. And I saw here before, what I thought before, somewhere here, the chief butler remembers now Pharaoh, even though he said here that yet did not the chief butler remember Joseph, but forget him. But then he remembers. So for me, that just means that he didn't want to remember, right? Because he did remember. So he just didn't want to help, I guess, in fear of getting back to prison if he would help or something. Saying, Then spake the chief butler unto Pharaoh, saying, I do remember my faults this day. Pharaoh was wroth with his servant and put me in a ward in the captain of the guard's house, both me and the chief baker. We dreamt a dream in one night. I and he, we dreamt each man according to the interpretation of his dream. And there was there with us a young man in Hebrew, servant to the captain of the guard. And we told him, and he interpreted to us our dreams to each man according to his dream he did interpret. So the chief butler did remember Joseph, but did not want to help. So here I'm not going to put any color because it's referring to this. But it's the same thing that I wrote here yesterday. He didn't care about Joseph because he's free. I didn't say that he forget him, but he didn't care about him because he was free and he did not have any worries and he didn't need Joseph anymore. And now that he or his master needs someone, he remembers Joseph, right? So it's only, like I said yesterday, it's only when you need something that you remember the ones who helped you before. And then I found it interesting that Joseph, well, for once, didn't say that he's Joseph, but it would make sense because he didn't want to revenge, but he wants to first know what his brothers are about, maybe, or something like that. But then he still gifted them with money, or with the money that they would have spent on the corn. So even though it's just beyond me sometimes what those righteous men are doing, because even though they threw him in a pit, they I guess declothed him, if we can say it like that. They took his clothes, they then sold them to the Egyptians, and he was in prison like at least for more than 2 years. And then he was before and during and after still a slave or a servant. And he's still nice enough to his brothers to give them the money, even though he threw them in prison for 3 days. That's nothing comparing to what he was going through all this time. But he still has this kindness about him. But I would think it's more not the kindness for his brothers, but for his father, because he wanted to make sure that he would be fine and well off with the money he gave back. But then again, somewhere here, I just have to find it, and I have no idea where it was. No, it was before, I think. Somewhere he said Joseph left and wept. Unto them that spake he by. No. Brother replied. They knew Joseph understood them. Oh no, I can't find it now. It had to be before, right? So it wasn't in the end. But it's not here either. Because he's just saying that they are spies. And they said one to another, we are very guilty. We are barely guilty. And he turned... here, okay. Sorry, it was like 2 minutes till I found it, but I found it. And now I lost it again. Now here. And it was verse 24. And he turned himself about from them and wept. And returned to them again after that. No, it was right, yeah. And wept. So I would write here, Joseph is still hurt from his past. With his past, I mean that the brothers betrayed him, I guess. I will write it here. Brothers betrayed him and lost his family So he lost his family, and for him, the most important person was probably his father. So he lost them because of the doings, because of the evil doings of his brothers, and he probably why he wept is probably because he can't understand why they did it to him, or that he wishes that he could go back to his family or something like that. Well, I don't really know what was going on in his head, but probably when he wept, this means that he still feels deeply about his past, and who can judge him for that? Because clearly a lot has happened. Even though he's fine now, the past can't be erased, and his family is still his family. So what his brothers did to him, even though he's fairly nice to them, it still hurts. And well, this makes sense, right? And I will not put a color here either, I think, because it's just a note. I don't really have a color that matches here. But another thing that I wanted to say is that in the version that I read it before, he said to Pharaoh, when he asked to interpret his dreams, that I cannot do this, but God give it to me. And even though I didn't really understand it in this passage here, in this writing form, I don't know, I didn't really get it here, but I got it in the form that I read it before. So, and Joseph answered Pharaoh, saying, "It is not in me. God shall give Pharaoh an answer of peace." So this essentially means that, or answers the question that I had yesterday, which was, is Joseph interpreting the dreams, or is God speaking through him? And for me, well, this answers the question, because he says that essentially God is giving the answer. So it's not for him to do much. He's just the middleman, I guess, between what God is saying and to the people who don't really well belong or are with him in this relationship. So I would write here, God speaks through Joseph. So God interprets the dreams. And here I would put the color of God, which was this one. Opala. Yeah. So this was the Bible study of today. I hope you have a great day, evening, or night. And I hope I see you tomorrow for the rest of the story of Joseph. Bye.